Hello, welcome everyone, guys. Welcome everyone to the live YouTube Decode the Union Budget 2022. This is the second part of this session. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the second part of Union Budget 2022. Good evening, all of you. Good evening, all of you guys. Good evening, everyone. We'll be starting the live session in the next 2 minutes. Waiting for everyone to join. Good evening, all of you. Yes, good evening, Riya, Chetna, Jyoti, Vaishnavi, Shubham. गुड इवनिंग गीता. ये कर लेते हैं भगवान को कि आज का सेशन प्रॉपरली खत्म हो. कल के जैसा पोपट नहीं होना चाहिए. Good evening, all of you. Yes, good evening, Kajal and Viraj. Okay, we start in the next 2 minutes. Very good suggestion, Urvashi. We can start with a prayer session like we used to do in our school days so that the Wi-Fi always supports us. I guess everyone can hear me loud and clear. Everyone can hear me loud and clear? Okay guys, let's begin then. Okay guys, so let's start. Okay, I guess most of you were there yesterday as well. On yesterday we started the union budget session. We covered certain certain budget proposals, and then suddenly the Wi-Fi god did not support us, and that's the reason we are continuing with this part today. So let's start. I guess we discussed digital currency, the virtual asset. I showed you the definition for the first time of the virtual asset. We discussed about the taxability of the virtual asset on the budget side. At the same time, let me also tell you that on the cryptocurrency, when we discussed the first budget proposal on cryptocurrency, we know that okay, it is going to be taxed at the rate of 30%. That's okay. And any other online digital asset or virtual assets will always be taxed now at the rate of 30%. There will be no set off of losses. That is what also we learned. कि मैंने आपको example देके भी बनाया कि whenever there is any transaction, on that transaction if you make a profit, you pay a tax, but on another transaction if you suffer a loss, there is no set off. We discussed that amendment. Let me also tell you one interesting amendment on the cryptocurrency also. There will be now a TDS, that is the tax deducted at source, at the rate of 1% of the transaction value. I repeat, there will be a TDS at the rate of 1% of the transaction value also in the cryptocurrency or the virtual digital asset, so far now we'll call it as. The question even raised by someone yesterday was that is cryptocurrency legalized? The answer to that is still no, because RBI has not yet declared its policy or has come out clearly stating the legality of cryptocurrency. But since we have given the cryptocurrency a backdoor entry by putting a taxation, the tax pundits have understood that very soon we will have a clear policy of RBI that cryptocurrency will be legalized in India, point one. And point two, we also discussed that RBI is also coming up with its virtual digital currency. As far as the deduction from cryptocurrency goes, I showed you even in the example on my first video that the deduction is will be allowable for the cost of the purchase of the crypto or for that matter Bitcoin, but no other cost will be allowed as deduction. So that is the first amendment or the budget proposal of the budget 22-23. That is what we did. Coming to a lot of things what we could not touch that day, what we are gonna do today, but mostly on the direct tax side. Now one of the very interesting thing is they have not touched upon the tax rates at all. No individual tax rates or tax benefits, matlab immediate benefits have not been given, but it is a visionary budget of the next 25 years. But the question is, who will be in the ministry for 25 years? Which government? So such budgets which are so long, with such a long vision, we don't know what will be the immediate impact of these budgets. But yes, this budget actually focuses more on capex investments, that is capital investments by the government of India. However, there are certain important things on which there were a lot of litigations. Let me tell you that. Guys, even during teaching of taxation, yes, Urvashi, I'll just take your question. in a minute. You can in between type your question and keep on my chat. I'll take up that question. But coming back to my point, we have also discussed that in India we have health and education cess of 4%. I repeat, we have a health and education cess of 4%. सवाल ये होता है कि will cess, whatever cess I pay, will that cess be allowed as a business expenditure, and can I debit that amount of cess in my P&L and take it as my expenditure? On which several litigations have been fought and businessmen have won the cases that yes, it is allowable deduction. But department didn't wanted it to be allowed as a deduction, and department always lost these battles. Now department ने ये सोच के सेस डाला था कि इसको एक्सपेंडिचर के फॉर्म में हमें नहीं देना पड़ेगा डिडक्शन, but on technical grounds it was allowed as deduction by the courts. Such things should not be affecting for the long term. Therefore, the first budget proposal on this side is that health and education cess will not be allowed as a business expenditure. I repeat, health and education cess will not be allowed as a business expenditure. In the meanwhile, we have a question on crypto. Obviously, the recipient will be taxed. I repeat, the recipient of the crypto will be taxed. The question is whether the receiver of the crypto or whether the giver of the crypto will be taxed. The answer will be the recipient will always pay the tax. So obviously gift tax लग जाएगा. So automatically आप gift लोगे तो gift लेने पे tax है ना. तो इंसान बोलेगा नहीं भाई तू मुझे गिफ्ट मत कर क्रिप्टो. सो ऑटोमेटिकली जो नॉर्मल ट्रांसफर्स भी होते थे बिटवीन फ्रेंड्स, मैंने आपको थोड़ा क्रिप्टो भेजा, आपने आगे भेजा, वो सब बंद हो जाएगा क्योंकि वहाँ टैक्सेबिलिटी आ जाएगी. प्लस ऑन एवरी ट्रांजेक्शन देयर विल बी अ टीडीएस एट द रेट ऑफ 1%. सो ऑटोमेटिकली ऑल द ट्रांजेक्शंस विल बी रिपोर्टेड टू द गवर्नमेंट कि देयर इज अ ट्रांसफर, बिकॉज द मोमेंट यू टेक अ ट्रांसफर टीडीएस एट द रेट ऑफ 1% विल बी डिडक्टेड. So automatically government will come to know who's the receiver and who's the giver, and automatically the taxability will arise. Going further to the next one, since long time the long term capital gain, I repeat, since long time the long term capital gain in case of transfer of assets, उसके ऊपर जो सरचार्ज था वो सरचार्ज बहुत हैवी लग रहा था लोगों को. एंड वो सरचार्ज किसको ज्यादा होता था? जिसकी इनकम अबाव 1 करोड़ है, क्योंकि दे आर ऑब्वियसली सब्जेक्ट टू अ हायर सरचार्ज. तो उन कैटेगरी के लोगों को जिनकी इनकम 1 करोड़ से ज्यादा है, जो हायर सरचार्ज जिनको लगता था, उनका मैक्सिमम सरचार्ज हमने कैपिंग कर दिया है कि 15% के ऊपर हमारा सरचार्ज नहीं जाएगा. सो मैक्सिमम 15% ऑफ द सरचार्ज विल बी लेवीड ऑन लॉन्ग टर्म कैपिटल गेन ऑफ ट्रांसफर ऑफ कैपिटल एसेट्स फॉर ऑल एसएससीज इररिस्पेक्टिव ऑफ देयर इनकम लेवल्स. मतलब सरचार्ज परसेंटेज विल नॉट गो बियॉन्ड 15. द सेम वे इन केस ऑफ एओपीज, दैट इज एसोसिएशन ऑफ पर्सन्स, it is proposed that maximum surcharge will not increase 15%. By that I can now understand that any individual or AOP will not be subject to more than 15% surcharge. So technically higher income groups, that is income group over 1 crore and above, have got this benefit. And that is where people said, and there was a meme, you know, she spoke about the rich, she spoke about the poor, but she forgot middle class. So that was the meme which came up कि भाई, you know, the finance minister spoke about the rich, spoke about the poor, but she forgot there is middle class in our country. However, another important proposal is that in case of search proceedings, if the department finds undisclosed income, अगर उनको पता चला कि आपके पास undisclosed income है during search proceedings, I am being very specific, only and only during search proceedings, then no further deduction will be given from that. आप बोलो नहीं वो इनकम ठीक है पर उसमें ये डिडक्शन भी था, ये खर्चा भी हुआ था ये इनकम कमाने के लिए, to earn that income I had to spend so and so money, please allow me that is deduction. Department says no. If we find undisclosed income during our search proceedings, we will not give you any deduction. So that is another important budget proposal for search and survey proceedings by the department. Coming to the next one, a very interesting one, to be very honest. In our country, initially since long time there was an option to file a belated return. The word is belated. So let me first explain you the word belated. Supposedly, okay, there is one question by Shubham. Shubham, I'll just come to it on a later stage again when I discuss about the rates of custom duty. So initially I am talking on the direct tax proposals. When I come to indirect taxes and on custom duty, to be very specific, I will come to the question on rate of custom duty on umbrella. Coming back to my point, whenever I say that in India we had initially a provision of belated return, suppose if you don't file your income tax return on time, the department would give you some extra time to file your ITR. अगर हम टाइम के बाद फाइल करते तो हम उसको बोलते थे बिलेटेड रिटर्न. पहले इंडिया में बिलेटेड रिटर्न का कॉन्सेप्ट था, फिर इन्होंने बोला बिलेटेड रिटर्न नको, बिलेटेड रिटर्न का कॉन्सेप्ट बंद कर दिया लास्ट 2 साल से. अब सडनली क्या बोला, वी ट्रस्ट यू एज अ टैक्स पेयर, we trust you as a taxpayer, and on trust based compliance we will allow you 2 extra years to file ITR provided there are some mistakes, errors or omissions. By listening to this आपको लगता है वाओ, अगर मैं इस साल भूल गया मेरा रिटर्न भरना तो मेरे को एक्स्ट्रा 2 साल मिलेगा. बट नो, देयर आर नो फ्री लंचेस. Department, the budget proposal says that if you want to avail this facility, you will have to pay a tax, and tax on the difference amount. मतलब फॉर एन एग्जाम्पल, मैंने एक रिटर्न भरा जिसमें मैंने इनकम दिखाई 8 लाख रुपए और मैंने 8 लाख रुपए पे टैक्स भर दिया. अब मुझे लगा नहीं यार मेरी इनकम तो 8 लाख नहीं थी, आई वॉन्ट टू चेंज माई इनकम, आई वॉन्ट टू चेंज इट टू से 15 lakh rupees. I want to revise it. Can I revise it? Yes, I can. Now I can. But on the difference of 7 lakh, that is 15 minus 8, उस 7 lakh पे I'll have to pay a tax. If I pay a tax on the difference of the income what I show, then I am allowed to file that return. So that was another direct tax proposal, guys. Coming to the next one, cooperative societies with an income above 1 crore to 10 crore. Imagine the level. First of all, you are a cooperative society. Okay, before I take up the cooperative society, I have immediately got a query on the same point. What if we have already paid extra tax by mistake? That is getting immediately refunded, Urvashi. Immediately getting refunded. आप ITR फाइल करो, उसको E-verify करो, within 15 days आजकल रिफंड आ रहा है. So your extra tax and maybe even अगर आपके पास TDS extra आपका कटा हुआ है, everything is getting refunded very fast. To be very honest, something which is improved after digitalization is that पहले एक ज़माना था, मुझे आज भी याद है कि डिपार्टमेंट से रिफंड निकालते निकालते हमारे जूते घिस जाते थे, पसीने निकल जाते थे, प्लस कहीं ना कहीं हमें ब्राइब भी देना पड़ता था. बट टुडे द रिफंड प्रोसीजर्स have been so smooth that all my clients and all the assessees are getting the refund in say 15 days, 20 days, etc. So technically that is not now a problem at all, absolutely no problem at all. And if they delay your refund, then they will pay you interest also, by the way. So if the department is delaying your refund, they will pay you your money with interest. And absolutely there is no follow-up required, system generated refund ho raha hai. That is one of the very big advantage of the digitalization, I must say that. Coming to my next one, cooperative society. A cooperative society with an income which is more than 1 crore and up to 10 crore, they were subject to surcharge at the rate of 12%. And now the budget proposal says that the surcharge from 12% will be reduced to 7%. I repeat, the surcharge from 12% will be reduced to 7% for such cooperative societies whose income is above 1 crore to 10 crores. This was on the direct tax side. So with this, guys, I have finished all my direct tax related proposals, whichever I wanted to discuss, which are major to be discussed. Obviously all cannot be discussed at any stages, but yes, whatever I want to discuss. But still, guys, I would give you time if any one of you wants to ask me anything on direct tax proposals. Only on the direct taxes first. I throw the forum open for asking me direct tax proposals. Anyone on the direct tax proposals, or everything is very clear? Any further queries on the direct tax proposals? Yes, there is one proposal on EV battery. Let me, but not on direct tax side. This is macroeconomic factors. Since I think so, I don't think so you have any other queries. I will take up macroeconomic factors now. The first question to me is on the EV battery, electronic vehicle battery. Guys, no, it's not a part of direct or indirect. Electronic vehicle, and it comes on the macroeconomic factors. But then going further to the electronic vehicle, see guys, we all know that at the end of the day our country wants to promote electrification of all the vehicles. That is the way to save the environment, and that's the first role our government has to play on the environmental side, no doubt about it. Now the problem is the electric vehicle is, one, we don't have that many charging stations. I repeat guys, we don't have that many charging stations. Problem number one. Problem number two, if I buy or say a car of Tata, इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल, मैं बैटरी चार्जिंग स्टेशन है नहीं मेरे पास, तो मैं क्या करूंगा? मेरा कहीं तो बैटरी चार्ज नहीं होगा तो मैं इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल खरीदूंगा ही नहीं. जैसे पेट्रोल डीजल मिल जाता है ना अलग अलग पेट्रोल पंप पे, फ्यूल पंप पे, तो वैसे इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल का क्या करेंगे? तो उन्होंने बोला हम आपको बैटरी चार्जिंग स्टेशन नहीं बना पाएंगे, ठीक है, हम आपको डायरेक्ट पेट्रोल पंप पे या फ्यूल पंप पे बैटरी दे देंगे. बैटरी, आपकी बैटरी रख दो, हमारी बैटरी ले जाओ. अब प्रॉब्लम है ये कब हो सकता है इंटरऑपरेबिलिटी? जब सारे इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल की बैटरी एक जैसी हो. सो टेक्निकली अवर ऑनरेबल फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर स्पोक अबाउट interoperability of all electric vehicles and uniformity of the battery so that exchange of battery can take place in case of electric vehicles. However, already subsidies are already available on electric vehicles, etc., which all will be continued since the last budget. So that was the point on electric vehicles. There is another question. by Shubham. Shubham, can you elaborate your question? Can you just elaborate your question? Okay. In the meanwhile, let me take up some indirect tax proposals. I hope the national pension scheme I discussed yesterday, but let me repeat it. That national pension scheme, NPS, I told you that central government and state governments have been made at par. Initially in state governments the contribution was 10%, which is now employer contribution was 10%, which is now increased up to 14% is exempt, which is equivalent to central government employees. So that is what we discussed yesterday also, but I just repeated today, if anybody of you must have missed yesterday's session. Coming to the next macroeconomic concept is e-passports. Guys, I was amazed to see the statement of finance minister when a reporter asked her, "Ki ma'am, what have you given to the middle class? What have you given to the common man?" I was amazed by her answer. She said, "The e-passports will also be used by common men and I have given them e-passports." This is her statement. Her statement, not my statement. And I was so amazed. How can you say that e-passports will be used by common man? Guys, e-passports will be used by all citizens of this country. And there are so many of them who have not travelled at all, and those who do not even have passports. Is that the benefit what people were expecting? However, in the e-passports, the advantage will be that there will be no physical passport first of all. So it will be again a completely digital passport. It will come with an embedded chip. Let me tell you the word. It will come with an embedded chip. उसके अंदर embedded chip होगा जिसके अंदर आपका पूरा biometric capture हो गया होगा. And with that chip your passports will be verified. And you can walk passport free or paper free through any airports. That's an amazing thing. Absolutely amazing. No doubt on that. But I believe that that will not be used by only and only a common man. That's something which will be used by everyone. Now, she made a very important figure that 25,000 compliances have been done away with. And she is absolutely right that there are so many compliances still which are yet to be done away with. And I believe and we pray that sense prevails and all the non-useful compliances should be done away with, so that ease of business in India objective can be achieved very fast. The very good thing on education she spoke, and being an educator, how can I forget that? She spoke that in the last 2 years during this pandemic, students were at a very big loss due to online education. Guys, you guys can afford pay fees, you can get a better quality education, आपके पास सब facility है. Right now also you are connected to me on YouTube and you are listening to me live. But not everyone has it. So those kids were small, उनको ज़्यादा affect हुआ है pandemic का. And to be very honest, kids of government schools. So for them, quality e-content is getting developed, and whatever she said is that will be telecasted in all the regional languages across 200 TV channels from standard 1st to standard 12th. मतलब 1st standard से लेकर 12th standard तक का सिलेबस पूरा क्वालिटी ई कंटेंट डिजिटल मोड में टीवी पे आएगा और बच्चे पढ़ाई कर पाएंगे बिना फीस के. So they will not have to subscribe to any other classes or any other e-platforms or etc. or edtech platforms for that matter, and they'll be able to study. This is something for the kids. Guys, she has also proposed on the education side that a digital university will be set up. Can you imagine a digital university now? Now, when I say the word digital university will be set up, so it takes time, guys. All these proposals are gonna take time to be implemented. But these are the proposals on the macro side. And guys, even if you must have heard the budget, so you must have noted, initially in our country, the railway budget and the union budget were back to back. So one day there was railway budget and the next day would be the union budget. Then since the time the Modi government came in, they said no, we don't want two separate days, we want railway budget to be merged with union budget. And therefore you must have noted, when she spoke at 11 AM, she started with railways. I hope all of you must have noticed that. Did you all notice that? Anyone notice that she started with railways? बोला सर अभी कल की बात है, आज किधर याद होगा? Okay. So regarding on the macro side, we spoke on, obviously Geeta, it will be part A because railways always will come as part A. Okay. They said the government school teachers will be equipped with digital tools. Imagine guys, इतना सारा कैपेक्स इन्वेस्टमेंट लगेगा कि सारे स्कूल, गवर्नमेंट स्कूल टीचर्स को हमको डिजिटल टूल और ये एम्पावरमेंट और ये जो हम टेक्नोलॉजी यूज कर रहे हैं वो उनको यूज करने मिलेगी. And we can empower the first, because to empower the child we need to empower the teachers. But guys, these are all long term visions. Immediate benefit इनका दिखाई नहीं देगा, but yes, long term benefit आपको ये सब चीज़ों का दिखाई देगा, ऐसा मुझे लगता है. Coming to the important ones now on the indirect taxes. Okay, we know on the indirect tax side, we had a record GST collection in the month of January. You must have heard that as well. That was a record GST collection in the month of January since the inception of GST from 1st July 2017. This was the highest collection ever, which she said is proving that economy is back on track post-COVID. But at the same time, she also said that MSME sector needs a special attention. And because MSMEs, including hospitality industry, hotel industry, have been under a lot of stress. So what she has done is, she has extended the scheme of credit. I repeat, she has extended the scheme of credit to MSMEs for one more year. उनको extension दिया है that the schemes can be availed by MSMEs for one more year, and she has earmarked, I repeat, she has earmarked the funds to give credit facility to affected MSME sectors. That is on the GST side. However, GST's amendments would never come in budget, because I guess I have taught you that GST amendments can only be done by GST Council. Yes or no? आपको पता है कि नहीं? GST amendments can only be done by GST Council, एंड जीएसटी काउंसिल का जो मीटिंग्स होता है उसमें चेंजेस होता है, एंड देयरफॉर दे आर नेवर द पार्ट ऑफ द बजट. आई होप ऑल ऑफ यू रिमेंबर दैट. याद है कि नहीं सबको? Great. The next thing is on the customs duty side. So now I'm coming back to customs, indirect taxes, and on customs I already have a question. But before I take up that question, you must have read somewhere, I am suppose, you must have read that अब तक तो, क्योंकि बजट आके काफी घंटे हो गए हैं, तो आपने एक चीज तो पक्का पढ़ा होगा, that your AirPods and headphones are costly now. पढ़ा है कि नहीं? The customs duty have increased on earpods, AirPods, etc. I guess you must have read that, I'm sure. Same way, the rate of customs duty on umbrella has gone up. अरे बजट देखा था कि नहीं तुम लोग ने, कि मेरे भरोसे ही बैठे हो? Okay. Yes, on gems and precious stones, the duty is reduced. Now let me tell you first of all the concept of this customs duty. Guys, whenever we want that in our countries, ध्यान से सुना मेरी बात, जिस भी दिन मुझे ऐसा लगेगा कि I want to promote make in India, so my Indian manufacturer has to compete with a foreign manufacturer. फॉरेन मैन्युफैक्चरर उसके अंदर ऑलरेडी स्ट्रॉन्ग होल्ड ले चुका है, वो इतने साल से वो मैन्युफैक्चर कर रहा है, तो वो एक कम प्राइस पे इंडिया में सप्लाई करता है. अगर इंडिया वाला मैन्युफैक्चर कर भी ले तो प्राइस में उससे compete नहीं कर पाता है. सो इफ आई वांट टू encourage the domestic industry, and I repeat, I must have taught you this in this budget, that whenever I want to protect the domestic industry, or whenever I want to increase the make in India and give them some boost and impetus, the only way available with the government is to play with the rates of custom duty. So guys, to be very honest, this budget tells the manufacturers of earphones, headphones, gaming to make in India, and that's the reason on all such things the rate of custom duty is increased, so that Indian manufacturers are able to compete with the foreign manufacturers, and people will prefer make in India items because that will be available at a cheaper rate than the imported items due to the hike in the custom duty rate. However, the question of Shubham here is very valid. He says, okay, I understand this, sir, but why is the rate of custom duty on umbrella hiked? The reason is, guys, today when you buy umbrella, do you check even that it is made in India or not? Do you even check? Umbrella खरीदते वक्त आप क्या देखते हैं? सच सच बताओ. What do you see while buying umbrella? And umbrella industries is also under a lot of stress since last 2 years due to less sale because hardly people are moving out of the houses. So to stop the imports of umbrellas and to encourage the domestic sellers, domestic manufacturers, the rate of custom duty on umbrellas is hiked to 20%. When you say that gems and precious stones, they've reduced the duty, the reason is because we want it to be more export friendly. We want our gems and precious, and recently our diamond markets which are in BKC, जो हमारा diamond bourse है, वहाँ से उतना अच्छा export हुआ है guys in the last 1.5 year, even during the pandemic. Let me tell you guys, our diamond market exports are doing really good. And to genuinely promote that exports and to earn valuable foreign currency, we have reduced the the custom duty, I'm sorry, not the stamp duty, but the customs duty on gems and precious stones. Coming to one long-term vision once again, we all know, we all are awaiting the 5G rollout. So even this budget also spoke about the 5G smooth rollout. At the, on the railway side, we spoke about the rail network to be safe and secure. So for the first phase, we are doing around 2000 kilometers of railways, bringing them under safe zone. On the defense side, one thing was very good. India always used to rely more on imported defense equipments. But now to promote indigenous defense, we have earmarked the funds. 68% of the funds will be only and only utilized to buy defense equipments which are made in India. Absolutely, Urvashi, you are correct. Exports were all-time high. I told you in the last 1.5 year, the BKC diamond bourse market has done really exceptionally well, and to give them again a thrust, because bullion is a huge market for our country, we have given them the concession in the customs duty. Any other questions guys till now? Any other questions till now? Any other questions? Okay. Any questions till now? Anyone? Geeta says no question. By the way guys, I am not speaking on housing, water, हर एक घर में जल पहुंचाना, कितने घर बनाना, नहीं तो आपको पक्का मैं पॉलिटिशियन ही लगूंगा. So obviously I am not gonna speak on all that. मैं इतनी जगह सोलर एनर्जी चालू कर दूंगा, इतना किलोवाट पावर दे दूंगा, मैं इतने घर बना दूंगा, इतने घरों में पानी पहुंचा दूंगा. इफ आई स्टार्ट टॉकिंग ऑल दिस, आप लोग पक्का मुझे पॉलिटिशियन समझ लेंगे. सो ऑब्वियसली आई एम नॉट टॉकिंग ऑन ऑल दैट प्रपोजल्स. माई जॉब वॉज टू टॉक ऑन डायरेक्ट एंड इनडायरेक्ट टैक्सेस. आई होप यू अंडरस्टैंड दैट. मुझसे वो सब मत करवाना. जहां तक आईपीओ की बात है, आई होप ऑल ऑफ यू रिमेंबर एलआईसी का आईपीओ आ रहा है. एलआईसी इज गोइंग पब्लिक गाइस, लाइफ इंश्योरेंस कॉर्पोरेशन. सो गाइज जब भी LIC का IPO आए प्लीज़ IPO भर देना, प्लीज़ आस्क योर फैमिली मेम्बर्स, घर में जितने नाम से डीमैट अकाउंट है उतने नाम से प्लीज़ फिल अप द IPO. LIC IPO is the next best thing what you can do in life. Shubham is asking me a question, why did they not prioritize export infrastructure earlier? Guys, we are trying to ऐसा नहीं, अपना देश ने काफ़ी सालों से कोशिश किया है कि हमारा एक्सपोर्ट का ढांचा सही हो जाए. ढांचा मतलब द स्ट्रक्चर. We are trying since long. That's the reason, guys, our exports have increased manifold. Our foreign exchange reserves have increased manifold. And it is not 1 year ka effort. Continuous effort of so many governments has led to this. So, yes, we are taking time. We are a slow country. We are taking time, but yes, we will achieve that. So, LIC IPO, everybody please remember, you have to fill up the LIC IPO. Any other questions? Any other questions? Any other questions? Yes, बोट का IPO भी आ रहा है. Considering the import duty hike on iPods and headphones, I don't think so that is gonna affect the business of boat, because I still know that people who's gonna buy a boat is always gonna buy a boat. It is still selling by the, और उसके कस्टमर प्राइस कॉन्शियस नहीं है. जो बोट खरीदने वाला कस्टमर है ना, वो जेन्युइनली प्राइस कॉन्शियस नहीं है. सो आई डोंट थिंक सो देयर विल बी सम बहुत एडवर्स इम्पैक्ट ऑन द IPO ऑफ बोट. That is my personal opinion, knowing the sentiments of people who purchase boat. No, there is no amendment on the homes and home loan part. Absolutely no amendments on housing related or loan related arena. Any other questions? The green bonds are to be purchased by HNIs, corporate houses. This promotes green energy. मतलब जो green bonds purchase करता है उसका पैसा green energy की तरफ जाता है ना, green energy production की तरफ जाता है, energy की तरफ जाता है. तो वो पैसा धीरे धीरे करके आप क्या करेंगे, ग्रीन बॉन्ड्स इशू करके आप क्या करते हो, आप सबको कॉन्शियस करते हो कि आप वो पैसा दो, हम ग्रीन एनर्जी लेके आएंगे. ग्रीन एनर्जी लेके आएंगे मतलब हम पोल्यूशन कंट्रोल करेंगे. सो ग्रीन बॉन्ड्स आर सॉवरेन बॉन्ड्स, RBI इशू करती है, राइट, एंड दे आर टू बी परचेस्ड बाय इंस्टीट्यूशंस, DIIs, FIIs, etc. They invest in this green bonds, and these money, whatever is collected by these bonds, is used to manufacture and conserve green energy. The question by Geeta here is investment after this budget. I guess markets already काफ़ी overvalued है. Last 2 days markets have been going up. Immediately I cannot suggest anything, to be very honest on that. I believe markets have been too bullish, valuations have been too up nowadays. I believe it should be wait and watch till March. Post March, we can talk on investing in the markets. Till the time, if you want to trade, you can trade. But I believe if you are a genuine investor, want to put in a huge amount of money, at least not till the financial year end. Except the IPO of LIC, that is an exception by that way. Anything else, guys? I think so from my side, whatever important points at this level I wanted to cover, at your level I have covered. आपके लिए इतना ज्ञान काफ़ी है, इससे ज़्यादा ज्ञान अभी आपके लिए काम का है नहीं. मैक्रो इकोनॉमिक फैक्टर्स पे हम आपसे on the telecom industry, yes, there is something on the telecom industry, but it is on the 5G rollout, on the spectrum auction. No, other than 5G, nothing on the telecom sector. If crypto becomes regulated on the stock market, I don't see any immediate effect, because stock market has already understood that crypto will be regulated. I believe stock market has discounted that now, so I don't think so there will be any immediate effect even if the crypto, if crypto is banned, then markets may react. But if crypto is regulated, I don't see any impact on the stock markets. So with this, guys, whatever I wanted to talk, I've completed. Whatever I could give you in simple language, with the explanation, with the reasoning. I've tried my best to deliver that. Thank you all for bearing with me since yesterday, and even cooperating when there was a network issue, and even joining once again today. Thank you, each one of you, for your time on this. Which debt? Two entities created. कौन सा entity? Yes, Shubham, most welcome. Kajal, most welcome. Okay guys, so thank you all for your time and efforts. Would see you again on some other platform. Thank you guys. Bye guys, take care, God bless, good night. Yes, Geeta, thank you, most welcome. Chetna, most welcome. Yes, Riya, most welcome. Thank you each one of you